Alright. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon even, maybe even good midnight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. I'm joined, as always, with my good friend, Dr. Kelkiel.
Simos.
Yes. So, we've got some stuff to talk about. Big boys, little boys, disappointing boys, and odd boys. Kelkiel, do you have anything you want to lead us off with?
Well, I have one piece of news that, quite frankly, disturbs me.
Yeah?
Among Us. Among Us is a game. Everyone knows it.
Yes.
And lately, Among Us has now started a collaboration with, of all things, HoloLive. So yes,
Oh my.
as a man who has sadly been infected with the HoloLive disease,
Oh, haven't we all?
do in fact know what HoloLive is. And yes, do in fact get outfits for pretty much every HoloLive personality you can think of. Oh,
Oh
God
boy.
help us.
Oh. Yes, God have mercy on our souls. God have mercy on humanity.
Do we deserve it? I don't know about that, but I
Maybe
still
we
wish for
do.
it.
Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Who knows?
It's a mystery for the ages.
Indeed.
Of course, there are some ones. There's some what you call them design pieces that aren't, completely beyond the pale, and fully in the autism sphere, like, pirate hat or Doctor or Sherlock Holmes hat.
Truly
But, well,
classics.
other ones are so transparently HoloLive that you can't wear it without looking like a total weeb. Which you are, probably.
I mean, if you watch HoloLive, you're a weeb. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Mind you, I
I
think
gotta say, I don't. No, you go first.
everyone nowadays is essentially a weeb to some degree. Some more than others.
You more than me, most certainly.
And I will wear that as a badge. Thank you very much.
I would assume so.
Indeed.
Anyhow, in general, though, I'd say, like, Among Us, I've played it a bit recently, and I think the game's pretty good. I think it's a fairly decent game. Still, though, like, there isn't a community in gaming less competent at the game they play, which is absolutely impressive.
Do elaborate.
Oh, right, I guess. Well, basically, if you ever play an online match of Among Us, every other player will be shit at the game
Well,
and
yes.
absolutely in no way play it like you should play a fucking game of Among Us. Instead, what they'll most likely do is accuse someone out of hand, give no reasoning as to why, and then everyone follows and votes them out, even though there is literally no evidence. And more importantly than that, they'll also not do their fucking tasks if they're the actual killer. I'm not the killer. Sorry, misspoke.
Fair enough. But I mean, that's one of the things that put me off of Among Us instantly. Is you've essentially got, you've got your small group of friends. Everyone's having a lack of time. But then if you're doing something with, either someone new, or you always get that one dude in the group. And it's like, I accuse you. Do I have evidence? No, but I'm gonna keep accusing you until you get ejected. Which I mean, I get it. It is one of those more casual games, but it's also one of those games that you kind of want to, treat a little bit more seriously. That's why I never got into Among Us, because no one ever takes it seriously. No one ever tries to be more inquisitive and, like a detective or anything about the game. It's mainly just point fingers and hope it goes for the best.
Yes. And I guess that is what happens when your game is mostly populated by people below the age of 15.
Indeed. Such is the world of the child.
Yes. I mean, there's some that aren't children, but they're usually normies, so they don't know how to play video games anyways.
This is true.
Anyhow, what you got?
Right, so I want to start off my section with the new Horus Model. Horus Ascended. This handsome chap. Now,
Horus. As I like
yes. Yes, Horus. So immediately out of the gate, I've got to say the model itself positively beautiful, gorgeous even. There are obviously some design elements that I personally wouldn't have done, such as the bizarre head with the Skrillex hair on his belt there. Freaking that just looks so out of place to me. But I
can
think,
understand that.
yeah, and he's got more heads chained. It's like what I want to know is how does he get them on there? Like, does he just get some poor bastard off the battlefield? It's like, hey, look at this head that I just chopped off. Put it on my belt, why don't you? It's like, okay. But I must say,
He's a Maori. He's an avid head collector.
ah, yes. Well, everyone needs their hobbies. His hobby just so happens to be collecting heads.
Well, I was gonna say you can't judge a man for having a hobby, but that hobby probably should be very, very harshly judged.
Indeed, indeed. Something I will say that I absolutely love is his claw design. They've essentially kept most of the original design whilst also improving upon it. Um, I will say it doesn't look as meaty as it did on the old model, but it still looks quite good. I still like it. That's and while we're looking at detail, I am loving the little details, like the wolf, the lunar wolf filigree, I suppose. A little bit of a trim on his chest there. I do like that design.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also liking the big eye on his knee. Yeah, it's a bit too chaosy looking for my taste, but it still looks nice. Personally, I would have stuck with the lunar wolf emblem, but I can see why they would go with the eye. It does still look good though.
I mean, at this point, they aren't the lunar wolves anymore, though. So
More
True
accurate
enough.
is definitely.
That said, on his left gauntlet, the one that's holding the giant ass mace, you can see a bit of a wolf skull on it still. So there is that the wolves on the chest, the moon icon dangling from his belt, the wolf head on his dagger, and what else here? I
Oh,
think.
he's wearing a big wolf too.
Yeah, well, that's kind of given, you know. Aside from that, that looks to be pretty much the only leftover wolf iconography, which is tastefully done, I would say, actually.
It's a
Though
fallback.
though the sheer amount of eyes on him is a little bit overwhelming. Because let's count. Let's count. Because you got one on his chest, one on his crotch, one dangling from his belt, two on his knees, one on the one shoulder. Doesn't look like the other shoulder has one. Of course, the big eye on his cape. The little eye of Horus dangling from his shoulder as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Are we gonna get a 9? Is there a 9th? Doesn't look like there's a 9th. But yeah, I think 8 eyes of Horus on this guy is. Yes, I know he's Horus Lupercal, but is a bit overkill, in my opinion. But aside from that, I think his model looks quite good. I think it looks quite good.
Yeah, details are, of course, you can criticize details, but, well, quite frankly, details aren't the main show, so
This is
yeah,
true.
the features all in all are excellent.
Yes, yes. Personally, if I could, I would definitely. The one thing I would remove is this head with the Skrillex hair. That I would absolutely just remove it. Because to me, that's one of the ugliest details on this model. Which is unfortunate because it's literally right in front of the model. It's the front end of the model.
It does stand out and doesn't look, it looks out of place, yes.
But aside from that, I like him. The base, on the other hand, I'm not a fan. I'm just straight up not a fan of this. This is a very Terminator style base.
You mean Terminator as the movie or Terminator
Yes,
as the armor?
Terminator as
Yeah,
the movie. Yes.
right, right.
Also, looking at the overall size of these bones and these skeletons, it looks like these are supposed to be Astartes remains. It could be just regular human remains, and I'm gonna say it's regular human remains, because uh, Astartes have, the whole fused chest plate thing.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
very
again,
true.
that is one of the most crucial details that no one remembers. Not a single fucking person remembers that Astartes have fused breastplates. And it is quite annoying. I mean, Games Workshop themselves have um, shown that they also don't remember that. Oh,
Well, not understandable, confusing, and slightly dumb, more like.
no.
But I can see your point. The base doesn't look particularly interesting. It's just a
Yeah,
bunch of
it's kind of just
skeletly boys.
skeletons for the sake of skeletons. Now,
Mm. It
this
would have been
is.
more interesting if it been like a pile under one of his feet or something.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Or just
this.
a maybe maybe like a field of like upper like the skeleton upper bodies of like dead people hanging on like spikes to his sides or something. I
Mm,
don't know. That though is not very interesting.
yeah. See, this is where I would go to the original Horus model, because that base is very, very nice. And it can be interpreted two different ways, actually. So you've got Horus standing upon the staircases that is also on the head of an eagle. Now, this can either be him standing triumphantly and leading his lunar wolves or sons of Horus for the Imperium, before his fall. The rise of the eagle, something like that. but it could also be interpreted as a Horus standing triumphantly over the Imperium, over the Loyalists, with the destroyed eagle statue standing triumphantly over the destroyed remains of the Loyalists and stuff like that. I am repeating myself now, but yes, that's one of the nice parts about his old base, is that duality. You can either keep him Loyalist Horus or do Traitor Horus. The new one is full blown Traitor. This is a Traitor Horus model through and through.
Yes. Which is, of course, the point.
It is the point, yes. It's just that's one of the nice parts about the old model, the fact that you can still keep him a Loyalist. Unfortunately, the new one not so much, but that is the point. But yeah, that's that aside. I'm definitely gonna be keeping my eye out for him. I'm definitely gonna pick him up as soon as I can. Whenever that is, because this was posted. Well, he was revealed on the 1st of September, and I haven't seen any news lately of his model being released. I haven't seen it on pre-orders. I haven't seen it announced. Well, I haven't seen it announced for pre-orders yet. So, yeah, I don't know when that's coming. Or even how much it's gonna be. Judging by how big he is, it's probably gonna be quite a hefty chunk of plastic.
Would it be plastic? Hold on.
I'm pretty sure this is a plastic model.
No, it's resin.
Oh, shit.
What?
No.
It's resin.
Oh.
This is irresistible resin.
No, it's Forge World. Oh, why didn't I see that? Oh, motherfuck. Alright, well, I'm not getting him then. Because...
Well, that changed your mind.
Well, yep. Welcome to South Africa. We don't get Forge World here.
Oh, I see. That's why.
Yep. I mean, if
something about Forge World
but
quality of production.
I mean that as well, but yeah. Anyway, that aside, I mean, I look at this model, and I think it's a plastic model. I mean, this looks like a plastic model. I don't see how this is a resin model. The details aren't sharp as resin. It's very cartoonish, borderline. I think the only thing that would give away the fact that it's resin, maybe the face, maybe. But even then, this still looks like a plastic model. But then again, that's very true about a lot of Forge World's models lately. They all look like plastic. Nothing looks like resin anymore. And I can specifically say this because I have resin models. I have managed to get my hands on some of the, granted not original, resin models, but the details on this is sharp and crisp. Whereas the details on the plastic is kind of iffy. So, and the new Forge World models look like the new plastic models. So, yeah, just clearly I have to read more between the lines before just assuming.
Yeah, or just read the line.
Yes, that's what I mean. Read, use my eyeballs. Use my eyeballs.
An important skill.
This is true, yes. Well, that's Horus out of the way. Anything else you want to add here?
I agree with your point about the claws. Definitely, they're very, very. Yes, heretical. I do like the dagger. Well, dagger in quotes, because it's not a fucking dagger, is it? As a bloody sword to a normal person, but still, you get my point.
This is true, yes.
other than that, I don't know if I have much to add, quite frankly. Yeah, I do like the model. I'm not getting it. I don't play Horus Heresy, and even if I did, it wouldn't be Horus, because yeah, I am a Dorn fanboy through and through.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I'd definitely get rid of Rogel Dawn because his model is fantastic.
I would personally
Yeah.
sculpt the beard on though. After TTS, I
Yeah,
would
that
definitely sculpt the beard.
I think that I would do that too. I have the means, so I suppose it wouldn't be that hard.
No, and quite a few people do that. I mean, since TTS was a thing, it's been beards. Everyone's been putting beards on their Dorns, and quite frankly, I agree. But yeah, so so that was Horus. Um, any other news you specifically want to cover?
Do I have anything more? I think I had something, but I think it slipped my mind for a second.
Hmm. Butterfingers of the brain.
Yes, I have that a lot. Mm, maybe I suppose there's something to talk about in the new stuff from Bolt Action, mayhaps. There's a lot of new Italian models coming up soon. I don't play Bolt Action yet, and I probably won't play Italy either. But the models are pretty decent, though I will say. Um, but yeah, that's something I suppose. Not really anything that major.
Do you have a
It's
link to the article, maybe?
no, but I have linked to the website. I don't know where they have a community page. Hold on. Nah, don't bother with that. I'm just gonna send you that. Oh, God damn, I forgot I put it here. I put my keyboard in the lap, not on my table. There it is. That's a link to the pre-order page on Warlord Games website. You know, the shop. So they have some models there. They're all in plastic. Well, maybe except the tanks. I haven't exactly looked into it with particular detail. Because, typically, Warlord Games tanks are made partially out of plastic and partially out of metal. So that's probably going to be the case here.
Old hammer style.
Yeah. Speaking of Oldhammer, I guess I can bring that up. Let me just get. Actually, I don't need to get the model, but I can just. Well, I will, anyways. But I did recently buy myself, and now I've also assembled a third edition. No, second edition, sorry. Second edition
Oh my.
Warhammer 40,000 Predator Annihilator. I had to convert it a bit, admittedly. Some parts were missing. But all in all, the model's looking absolutely stunning, I'd say. Even though it's very old.
Why don't you give us some photos in the voice chat text?
Wait, hold on. Can I do that? Let me just quickly. Well, actually, I think I sent it in model sharing recently, but it should be in. I can send it again, I suppose. It's not that important. So right, it goes in here. But while I try to upload it, I also in the pictures I didn't add the Hunter Killer missile that I've added now. I added a Hunter Killer missile to the left turret.
Alright.
Because it was was in the kit. It just wasn't, you know, the parts weren't all there.
No.
But what is there, I could actually build the launcher and the missile. But the, what's it called? Most of the, like the mount and the, lots of the parts to, like, around the launch tube, or whatever you call it, is missing. So what I did is I just simply added a magnet underneath the missile, like the launch unit, and to the sponson there on the left. So I could just add it on there whenever I wanted. And I haven't glued the missile in either, because I don't want to do that. It's cooler to take it out.
Fair enough.
Either way, yeah. So it's very interesting to see these old models, because first of all, the scale is very different.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
however, like 25% smaller than their modern equivalents, and they're also like like the core of the set is made in plastic, but the detailing, like the what's it called, the sponsons, the turrets, like the upper bits on the top of the tank, also, all that is made in metal.
Looks good for an old half plastic, half metal model, though.
Yeah. Also, another interesting detail is the kit, like the core, like the rhino bit of the Predator model, like how that is assembled is very interesting, because you essentially have two sprues that are identical, which instead of having like one sprue for a track and one sprue for like the body and whatever. Instead, there's one sprue with half the body and one track and like one of the sides of the tracks. And what you do is basically the bottom and the top of the model are the same bits flipped upside down. And the tracks on the side are also identical, just flipped, like placed on each side. So it's the same like bits used twice to assemble the core of the model, which is very practical.
That's definitely different to what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite interesting.
Like there are a there's few differences. Like if you only had one sprue, like this exhausts are not, you can't have, what's it called? The exhausts have to be put on like another side. You get one that faces to the left and right, one that faces to the right. So you have to put both that face to one side on one side and the other to the other. So you just, build, what's it called? You can't, well, you can build one out of two sprues, but yeah, it's not exactly identical in every sense, I suppose. But all in all, yeah, this model is very, very cool, and it really does, I really do get an appreciation for the way these are assembled. I also like, on the model there, by the way, just as a note, the top, the hatch and the twin link or combi bolter, they are not, what's it called, in its original state. Those are parts I had to kit bash.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed that.
Originally, like, there is a single, like, storm bolter there, but I instead, like, there were parts missing there, so I just simply took the bolters, which you get for the basic Rhino kit, drilled holes in the two grips, essentially, that are used for the storm bolter. So I just drilled that, just popped those in. Then I took one of the hatches from the Rhino bit and just cut it down a bit and added that to the top too. So that is how I basically assembled the model on the hatch bit. Right, that's the tangent there.
A good tangent.
Yeah.
I'm just pulling up a photo of the newer, well, the 40K, the current 40K Predator. Get a quick side by side of the oldie and the modern. The old one definitely still has a bit more charm to it. But I must say the new one, it still has probably the better of the details. In my
Yeah, I can
opinion.
agree there.
It's also a little easier to work with. Being modern plastic, as opposed to that old kind of weird, almost resiny plastic. And
See,
then of
this is
course
not
the
an example
metal.
of that. This is actually pretty modern plastic, this one.
Uh,
The I have the dark I have dark Eldar from 3rd edition. Or was it 4th? I think it was 3rd, but I'm not fully certain about that. Whatever the case may be, those are more examples of the resin type plastic. This is not that. This is actually pretty much the same as the plastic we have now. I don't know what happened there. Maybe they went back to this type at some period. I'm not sure. Oh well. Awfully quiet.
well,
There we go.
either way, it still looks pretty good. Can't wait to see it painted.
Yes, that will happen someday when I get myself some new paints because some of them are going bad.
Indeed.
Despite the fact that I recently bought new paint. Oh well.
I've had my paints for 3 years and they're still fine.
I don't know what's wrong with the storage, which is clearly something.
Mind you, I'm using dropper bottles.
Right, that explains something, I suppose. I do not. I still use Citadel paints for the most part, with exception of a bottle of Vallejo Red and a bottle of Army Painter Pallid Bone, which I recently bought. I like this paint, by the way. Pallid Bone, it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Good bone paint.
Yeah. Yeah, but you should get some dropper bottles and transfer your paints over to dropper bottles. They'll definitely last longer, and they're gonna keep their consistency a little bit more, well, consistently than the paint pots. They're also easier to manage.
Perhaps I'll consider it.
But yeah, coming back to these bolt action models, the detail on the tanks is very nice. Very nice indeed. I do like this. Very crisp, very accurate details. Considering the scale anyway. However, the infantry models are goofy as shit.
Yeah, the scale of bolt action miniatures is a bit wonky.
Yeah, but I don't mean the scale. I mean the detail is very. The faces are interesting, to say the least. I mean, there's one dude that's about to throw a grenade.
Reminds me of the In Your Paints video.
Indeed. And of course, the dude next to him, busy racking back his bolt. Oh, but he looks angry. He is upsetty
His
spaghetti.
nose.
He has a very flat
Upsetting
nose, yes.
spaghetti indeed. His big nose.
Very.
Smelling all that ravioli.
And then you got the dude in the top left is like, my dude looks constipated. Like, he really looks constipated. Like, he's been running through these trenches for so long that he hasn't been able to take a shit in a good week, man. He's been holding it in.
Very unfortunate.
Oh, poor bastard. Poor bastard. But that said, they do still have a charm to them. They do have a charm to them.
Ease. On an unrelated note, let's mention the Italian election. No, let's not do that.
Let's not do that, no. Yeah, I'm busy looking at this bolt action Italian. Excuse me for messing up this pronunciation. Bersaglieri starter army. I cannot speak Italian, thank you very much.
Exactly. I kind of do.
Yes, well, you have interest in other dialects, so that's to be expected. Yeah, I'm busy looking at this first tank, the... I don't know what this specific tank is called, but... The dude on the top hatch, it's the dude with the blue cloak. Yeah, his face... Huh?
Cloak?
Say what?
Shirts?
The blue, yes, the blue shirt, I suppose. Did I say cloak?
Yeah, I think you did. Oh well, small accident.
Interesting. But yeah, this guy literally looks like he's just seen the most offensive thing on planet Earth. His nose is shriveled up, his facial expression is just like, what the fuck did I just see? Oh, I love it. I love it. It's got some charm to it.
To his mama and he will complain of what these damn and the Americans are doing to his beautiful country.
Yep. Yep, sounds about right. And then the other dude in the more stubby tank. Oh, that's a glorious mustache. That is a glorious mustache you got there, good sir.
The most beautiful mustache an Italian has had since Super Mario himself.
Personally, I'm more of a Luigi.
He's American, anyway.
I'm more of a Luigi guy, but yeah, I get what you're coming from. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, I don't know if this is intentional, but I'm busy looking at this little stubby tank, and I'm noticing that there is a significant gap between the turret housing and the rest of the tank. Like, there is a good millimeter gap there.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. I think that's unintentional.
I hope that's unintentional, because that doesn't look right.
Though, considering it's an Italian tank, I wouldn't be surprised if the real one had it, to be honest.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, I mean that looks pretty nice for a little baby tank, and some funny looking infantry. But yeah. Well, aside from that, we shall now go from something fairly interesting and characterful to something rather, well, quite frankly, scummy. Which, considering this is Games Workshop, is no surprise. I am of course referring to Space Marine Heroes 2022, The Blood Angels Take Charge. I'm gonna say it right now. This is the laziest of the Space Marine series by far. This is extremely lazy, and extremely scummy, and incredibly disrespectful towards the customer. And I'm going to explain why right now. So let's take this sergeant with his chainsword right now. All right. Um, all right. Say you're new to this, to all this. You know, you get a box of the Space Marine Tactical Squad, right? You can literally build most of these out of that box. Maybe not this guy specifically, because the torso and the little bits of armor on his side, and the tabard and the head and the this rope across his chest, that is unique to him. Yes, but the arms, the backpack. Well, backpack, that's fairly obvious. But the arms, that you can just do with any Space Marine kit, almost any Space Marine kit. But referring to the tactical squad kit in specific.
Well, I will note that the thing on his I know the term for it. It's the thing dangling, the leather bits dangling from his crotch. Those are not. Those you can actually. I'm fairly certain, at least. Get you do. Yeah. No. Wait. Hold on. Am I thinking of the right thing here? Maybe I'm not. Maybe you don't get that, but the body specifically, I know for certain is the only thing here that's particularly unique.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, in the tactical squad kit, you don't get this leather bits. You only get some standard loincloths. But you can essentially replicate this whole model with the tactical squad kit.
Yeah.
Essentially, for the most part. And then the next one, again, you can replicate this almost one to one, except for the head and the fact that his the hand holding the magazine is different. You know, he's holding it by the butt of the magazine, whereas in the tactical squad kit, is holding it by the haft of it. The shaft. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
I don't know if there's.
So you can also just make a standard reloading pose as well. The Devastator, this one will be a little tricky because you can't do this with the tactical squad. This will have to be you can, but you can easily do this with the Blood Angels tactical squad. You can do it with this. Well, you can do that. You can do this with that from the Blood Angels tactical squad, except for the legs. Everything else, except the head and the legs, you can replicate one to one. And then the next one, the dude with the aspects. Okay, this one is a bit more unique. The tactical squad kits do not have the head, backpack with the sensor, that arm, and the slung bolter. Pretty much the only thing you can replicate is the legs, chest, and arm holding the aspects. So this one's a little bit more unique, kind of. Moving over to the rocket launcher, again, you can just replicate this with the Devastator or even the Tactical Marine box. Both of them come with kneeling legs. Both of them come with rocket launchers. Both of them come with the hand against the rocket launcher. This one is a little more unique. However, if memory serves correctly, the Devastator Squad kit does come with the rocket launcher with the smoke trail. And this head is pretty normal. You what?
The kneeling legs part is the kneeling legs also does come with the Devastator kit, not the tactical squad.
No, the tactical.
I do know that for a fact.
No, you're right. No, the tactical squad doesn't come with them. Yes, my mistake. Yeah, no, but this is.
I used the kneeling legs for one of my rocket launcher dudes.
No.
Actually, my only rocket launcher dude from a Devastator kit. Oh well, details.
Yep. And now we get to the most vanilla and worst part about this series. This last guy. You can literally 100% replicate this with half, even a quarter, of the Space Marine Tactical Squad kit. Nothing, aside from the head, on this model is unique to this model. Maybe the way the pipes go from his shoulder into his elbow. That's it. This is by far the easiest that you can replicate and the laziest model in this specific series of Space Marine heroes. And now comes the biggest problem I have with this as well. Okay, granted, another unique bit about this series, bases, but I mean half these ones look the same. They're mostly just this standard slate rock, flat surface, boring stuff. That said, I can still see the appeal behind it. You know, you can quickly spend a couple of bucks on one model and paint him up. Yeah, that granted, that is a nice one. But if you're like me, you would still start with something like a tactical squad. That's the most efficient way to start.
I will note a few things. The thing about the most generic Marine, his head isn't even that unique.
It is very vanilla.
I remember at least. Yeah, I'm fairly certain there is a head that's somewhat like that one, so that one isn't even particularly unique. I will disagree with you in a sense that I think this is actually like, I don't necessarily have a problem with Space Marine heroes as a thing.
Oh, neither do I.
Because I see it as another. Like, I don't see this as a thing that you should do as a starter thing, personally. I don't think it should be that at all. Like, maybe some will sell it as that, and that's absolutely idiotic, because it is in no way a good way to start Warhammer. I more see it as a way to replenish potentially lost models. So, for example, if you've lost just a Marine, regular Marine from one of your tactical Marine squads, buy one of these kits. Hopefully you don't get one of the models that carry a weapon, like a special weapon or something.
Calcil,
That would be very bad.
I'm gonna interrupt you real quick.
Yes. Right.
Google Space Marine Heroes. Google that real quick.
I know what you're going to say. These are, in fact, with exception of the heads, exactly the same like series.
They are.
If that's what you were going
yes,
to say.
they are entirely replicas.
I was going to note that.
Except for the heavy bolter. Except for the heavy bolter, and the Auspex. The heavy bolter and the Auspex are new. The rest of them are fucking copied.
I can assure you, those are not new either. I was going to mention that. These are in fact exactly the same.
Nope. I see it. Yep, I found them. Yep. There's the Auspex and there's the heavy bolter.
Right. I in fact own one single Space Marine Heroes model. I just bought that because I thought it was fun. I in fact have it painted up as one of my homebrew Space Marine chapters. But that's beyond the point. The thing is, as a starter, these are terrible. Do not buy them for that. These are more like supplements for your Space Marine army. But yes, they are in fact the exact same models, with exception of the heads, to Series 1, which is absolutely beyond absolute freaking sanity. This is very stupid.
It is lazy.
Yes.
That is the worst thing you can do as a company, is be lazy.
Yes. I will also note, as I said, one thing that is extremely dumb about this is that the box art for this for these depict a Primaris Marine,
Yep.
which
Yep.
is not in any way included in this set. There are no Primaris Marines in this collection, yet it is what is depicted on the box.
Yep.
Which is also very freaking stupid.
Meanwhile, the previous series, you had the original Space Marine heroes. You had a Firstborn Marine on there. Mind you, Primaris hasn't been invented yet. But then you had the next series. Well, one of the next series with the Terminator. Okay, yes, that fits. And then you had the Death Guard. That had Death Guard on it. That fits. This, on the other hand, that's Primaris. There are no Primaris in this series.
I will. What does? You said something, and now my mind just lost its track. You said something that I think you slightly messed up. I don't know what was though. Now that's the problem. Yeah, I can't remember actually. Whatever.
Oh my god, okay. Also, the price on these things. $8. $8 in South African Rand right now. That is almost 150 bucks. 145 essentially. Oh, I suppose that's cheap compared to character models, but that is pushing it. At least in my opinion, that's pushing it a bit.
It actually says the Swedish price. It's 60 crowns, which is not like a good price.
It's not
But
it's not good.
horrible.
It's not good, but it's not bad. But I would hands down say that this is in no way, well, in more ways than one, it is not a good value for money. But it can still have its place.
Right. I agree.
But yeah, it's just another scummy decision from Games Workshop, which unsurprising. You know, we expect it at this point. We don't want to expect it, but it's Games Workshop. That this is what they do. I mean, they could at least have replaced, the shoulder pads with Blood Angel iconography, or put Blood Angel iconography on the weapons. But instead, they just made them vanilla re-releases with different heads. Just disappointing. But yeah, that's that little rant off my chest. Anything else you wanna add or move on to?
Well, do say it's a as a thing. I think War Space Marine Heroes is a decent thing. It's not like the worst thing GW does by a long shot.
Oh no,
But
definitely not.
having released what is essentially the same thing again is very, very no.
Yep. Mind you, these are targeted more towards the Japanese market, because the Japanese are fucking big. They're massive on their collection of stuff. But so are Americans.
Yep.
So to be fair, so I don't know if the Japanese are happy with it, then I suppose our opinions are completely null and void.
Yeah. Actually, one
Well,
funny thing, I looked it up on. No, what?
well, okay, it's Games Workshop. Our opinions are null and void either way.
Fair enough. One thing here I was going to mention here. Apparently, I own a model, like the model I own for Space Marine Heroes is one of the secret models in Japan, which is
Oh.
it's not in Sweden and the rest of the world, but in Japan specifically, the model I own is one of the secret models.
Which one would that be?
Brother Promethor, he's the plasma gunner.
Oh. Oh, that.
I have him
Okay.
painted up as what was it? Angel Celestial. What? Wait, hold on. What did I call my Space Marine chapter again? What did I forget? What I called them?
Did you forget what you call your own homebrew Space Marines?
No, I didn't actually. I did remember it correctly, but I just
Okay.
myself for some reason. But yeah. Yeah, I have him painted up as one of those. So it's a sand color as his base.
I'm just trying to find a high quality image of this stuff. Okay, so there's the plasma dude. The recording's not gonna pick it up at all, but that's still fucking yeah. Up. There we go. There's a good photo. You see, you can still replicate these older models, with the tactical squad kit. But I would forgive that because it's the OG, the first release of Space Marine Heroes. But re-releasing these things, bitter taste in the mouth. Bitter taste in the mouth.
Actually, I just realized something. Hold on. Am I dumb? Hold on. I can't be. If I'm seeing what I'm seeing right now, I am absolutely in the head.
What are you seeing?
Because that would be stupid. Hold on, let me quickly check here. How many models were in Series 1? 9 models.
Oh, I was gonna say
in
8.
The West, at least.
Yeah, and in this series we've got what, 6?
Version 6. So it's a downgrade in every respect.
Yep.
At least in that sense.
Yep.
Okay, that makes this worse. Why in the fuck would you do that?
It's Games Workshop, that's why.
Dumb. That is very stupid.
Well, such is the nature of Games Workshop.
I guess it is. Oh, bollocks.
Well, moving on from that somewhat shitty note, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Not on the top of my mind, so I guess you can pick another topic.
Alright. Ooh, yeah. Horus Heresy Thursday. 2 new Praetors make today a double Death Guard debut. Yeah. Okay, so let's take the first dude for a spin here. First of all, I'm gonna be blunt. This looks like a 40k model. This does not look like a Horus Heresy model. And I don't know what particularly is giving it off. I think it's mainly the head. Because the head's got this kind of cloak thing. It's a very 40k style cowl over his head. As well as the rest of the cloth. Aside from that, I can't specifically point out why it looks so much like a 40k model, but it just does, and it's putting me off.
I can see how you can't. I agree with that conclusion. Also, I think his axe also makes it look more like a 40k model because that is very damaged.
Now, to be fair, the Death Guard don't take care of their equipment.
like before they turned to chaos, though.
No, even before they didn't take very good care of their stuff. I'm just trying to figure out if these are plastic or resin. Pretty sure these are resin.
Look it up actually. Resin.
Yep, yep.
Two resin sons of Motari.
Yeah, I just saw that. Also, the face on this first dude. Whew. Yikes. Yikes. It doesn't look good. I'm gonna say that. It does not look very good. The nose is very big and flat and squished. The eyes, they're looking in two different directions, but that's just how it's painted. But
Yeah, that's fair
it looks odd and weird, and it does not fit. The helmet, on the other hand, I like that. I like that. That's a good helmet.
He looks like a character from some TV series, but I can't put my mind on who he looks like.
I wouldn't know. I would not know. But yeah, that's the first guy. Um, it's literally just the head that doesn't do it for me. The rest can work. Just not it. It doesn't feel like a Horus Heresy model to me. But it can definitely work perfectly in 40k, and it can be functional in Horus Heresy. Just the head, the bear head, sculpt. Toss it in the fucking bin. Toss it in the bin.
I usually don't build models without helmets anyway, so.
Yep. This second guy. Okay, I can see him. But he's got. Again, it's the same problem that the modern Horus Heresy models are having, especially the two new plastic Praetors. Um, it doesn't look like Horus Heresy armor. It's got these little joint things, very Primaris looking little joint things, and the trim is moved oddly. It's mostly the chest, with how smooth and curved the chest is. Which, if you look at other things, like let me reach onto my table here and pick up this Corn Berserker of mine that I'm working on. World Eater actually. Sorry. His chest is very angular and sharp. Okay, that's one. Let me pick up another guy here, my Imperial Fist. Also sharp and edgy. Not in the emo way, but detail-wise. Whereas this is smooth and rounded. And this is supposed to be an immaculately crafted suit of artificial power armor in the Mark III Iron style. I only see Mark III kind of in the legs. The rest does not look like Mark III at all.
Well, the backpack does look like Mark III, and the thing coming down from the belt too, kind of, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see the rest not looking like
Yeah.
Mark III at all, because it really doesn't.
Yeah, the chest is not Mark III. The arms... Also, it's following the same design as the new plastic Praetors, where the armor is big and thick for no reason. Like, it's bigger and thicker than every other Marine you'll see on the table, for no particular reason.
Yeah, that's a thing that kind of annoys me sometimes. Oh, well, not sometimes. Usually, when, like, unless like that commander model is somehow like very different, like for some reason, like intentionally supposed to be very different from the rest of their army, when the model looks very different for no particular reason other than they're the leader, it really doesn't. I do not like such an aesthetic.
Yeah, same here. I will say
It's like something.
his yeah, continue, yeah.
I was gonna say it's basically like imagine having a army of I don't know, Americans from World War II for like bolt action or whatever.
Yeah.
But then like your army commander like wears like absolutely oversized freaking top hat and wears a giant bloody coat with a fur-lined coat for no real reason other than it's my commander.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what Warhammer has become nowadays, especially Horus Heresy and 40k. This is a commander unit. You can tell because he doesn't look like anyone else at all. Which, yeah. It's getting annoying. It's getting annoying. And it's, ironically enough, it's also a little, lazy would be too harsh of a word, but I can't think of a better word for it. Because I would see a model, a command model or a leader model do a lot better with a simpler setup. You know, like take the original Space Marine Captain kit. Space Marine. Actually, the Space Marine Commander kit. Yes, let's go with that one.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, it's a very simple overall, because you got armor that still looks the same. You know, he's not wrapped in loads and loads of trim. The giant purity seals and the loincloth may be a bit overkill, but the only real difference between him and a standard Space Marine is the um, the rope laurel thingies over the chest, the eagles on the backpack, and I suppose the cape as well. But aside from that, he looks like a standard Marine.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, let's. I'm trying to think of a good comparison.
Is Caligar, maybe?
Yeah, but he's a chapter master. But to be fair, chapter masters are usually more out there. No, actually, no. Some of them are still quite good looking. Well, standard looking. Um, Marnius Kelgar model. Yeah, look, that's a good picture. I mean, look, yeah. I mean, he's, yeah. I mean, put him next to a regular Primaris Marine, and he's gonna look massive and overblown. But to be fair, again, Chapter Master, and he's in Gravis armor. It's still a little bit more held back than what they're doing with these Horus Heresy Praetors. Because they're just shoving trim and pipes and random detail. Like, both of these guys have either chainmail or cloth or both coming out of their shoulder pads for no particular reason, as aside from I'm the commander, so I have more stuff. Whereas things like Marnius Kelgar, he's got basically a normal chest plate, aside from the Aquila, and little skull cross thingy-madoogle. Aside from that, it's pretty much normal. Well, relatively speaking. But also his suit of Gravis armor looks like a good suit of Artificer armor. Whereas, again, this dude's the Mark quote unquote Mark III design is more, well, it doesn't look like Mark III. It looks like a completely different make of armor. I mean, even the backpack, it still kind of looks like Mark III, but it's got 4 big vents instead of 2. But aside from that, it looks like a mix between Mark III, 4, and 6 to a degree. I will say, however, his scythe and the helmet option is quite nice. I do like the helmet on him.
Yes, I agree. They're very
I
nice.
think I like the helmet because it looks like a Death Guard helmet, but it's also relatively simple compared to the rest of the armor. Also, can we please get Salamander releases? Please? Forge World? Forge World, hey, remember that the Salamanders exist? Um,
No.
can us Salamander dudes get a little bit of attention? Please? I mean, the frickin' the what their faces are, the Emperor's Children, have more Praetors and more characters now. Like, holy shit. I think they have enough, my guy. I think they have enough. Can we give some of the other legions some love as well? But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on those two guys. Anything you want to add on before we move on?
Well, with the little rant we did have, I will of course state that we're not necessarily critiquing the idea of having the leaders of a faction look different.
Yeah, no,
But the
no,
fact
they
that
can.
look different in a way that makes them absolutely unlike everything in their army, in ways that just makes it seem out of place.
No.
Like, it's not just adding elements, it's changing elements in a way that makes them stand out in a not necessarily good way, which we are specifically critiquing here.
Yeah, this is true. Because I mean, put that that Mark III Praetor armor, Praetor next to any Mark III army, he will not fit in whatsoever, at all, 0. Which
Yeah,
most people go for Mark III, Mark II, Mark III, Mark IV for their Death Guard. So he is going to stand out like a sore thumb.
yup. Though, as I said, I was gonna say, other than that specific critique for the what's it called, the non-Terminator version, as I said, I agree with you. The scythe is nice. The head is nice. Both of them actually are very good. Don't necessarily, of course, like the rest of the model because it does not look like it's actually wearing normal power armor. But as when it comes to the Praetor in Terminator armor, I think that one definitively does actually look very good, and I think it would actually fit in. So
Yeah, no,
if I
that's
were
the
running
Terminator
a
one fits.
Death Guard army, yes. So if I were running a army for Death Guard in Horus Heresy, which again I do not, I don't play Horus Heresy yet at least, but yeah, if I were running that, if I chose between these two Praetors to lead my army, alongside probably Mortarion if I did, it would be the Terminator version and not the normal power armor version, because that one does not fit in aesthetically with the people and other Marines they're supposed to fit in.
Well,
Is annoying.
well, let's quickly take a quick look here. So we've got the Terminator Praetor here, you know, regular looking Cataphracti Terminator armor. Put him next to these Cataphracti Terminators here. he will fit in. He will fit in just fine. Maybe even perfectly, actually. Because he looks like a Cataphractii Terminator. However, let's take the Mark III dude. Okay, so Horus Heresy Mark III Marines. So let's see what image will work here. No, that's Mark IV. Here's some Death Guard. Just there we go. Okay, no, that's a blurry image. All right. Okay, here's a good one. So comparing the Mark III, the iron armor, to no, that's the wrong tab. To this dude. That does not fit. That does not and will not fit whatsoever. Like the legs are the only thing that looks like Mark III are the lower legs, the front of the legs. The rest, I mean, look at the torso on the Mark III. It's nice and bulky and angular. This one, smooth and round. And yeah, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb, and not in a good way.
Oh my, pressing up against my throat shouldn't do that.
What?
I was pressing up my
Hand against my throat, making me sound like this instead of like this, which
is how I, well, don't usually sound, but this is how I'm choosing to talk for the moment.
Well, doing that
I do not
definitely
notice
is more
this
interesting.
sounds like what?
Doing that sort of thing definitely sounds a little bit more interesting, though. I mean, you gotta admit. But it does tend to get a little bit uncomfortable. Excuse me.
Yeah, it makes you sound a little more androgynous. It's not as clear what gender you are anymore.
Oh, really?
But you
Okay,
certainly
cool.
sound.
Anyways, yes.
Yes, moving on. Anything else you want to talk about? You got anything else to add in here?
On the Terminators and the other guy. No, not the Praetors. No, nothing in particular regarding those.
Any other article you want to add in here?
No. Another article. Nope.
Unfortunate.
Don't think I have anything there. I do have a note, though. I think I will bring up because I like his channel. Well, him and his new channel, sort of. I watch a channel called Shadiversity.
Ah, yes.
I also watch another one of his channels called Night's Watch. On Night's Watch, there used to be a guy who was one of the hosts named Oz. He's no longer on that show, and now he instead runs his own YouTube channel called Team Oz. I recommend his channel because he is a funny guy.
Okay.
I absolutely... his video, like the first video I came out with as his, like re-debut, I guess we can call it, is absolutely freaking fantastic. It is called, well, I posted the link there. I hope it does work. Hold on. Is it working? Yeah, it is. That video right there, Author Swap, is freaking hilarious. Because that man is genuinely one of the funniest people I've ever watched. But, yeah, obviously, based off the title, you can probably guess what the video is about.
Well, I'll pull up the video. I'll show off his channel here real quick, I suppose. Well, there we go. There's him. That's him. Give him a sub, why don't you?
But yeah. So I guess I'll just simply say the video is about him swapping authors for books, and in the first episode he switches, like, the ones that are shown on the title, the thumbnail, are obviously J.R.R. Tolkien and George R.R. Martin. So Tolkien writes Game of Thrones and Martin writes Lord of the Rings. That's funny, but there is another which is not shown on the thumbnail, which is when he switches the authors for Harry Potter and Mein Kampf.
Oh.
It's
Oh.
a very,
Oh
very
my god.
funny set of jokes.
I can
Very
fucking
spicy.
imagine.
Like, literally, like, the first line when he introduces Batman from World War II is, so, contrary to popular belief, I've not read Mein Kampf. Just the fact that it's available to read makes me distrust it. Because that is the kind of person Oz is, and that's why I love him. He's hilarious. It is a,
Oh,
I tell you, it is a video well worth watching.
that sounds absolutely hilarious. Oh shit. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's a little addition.
Oh. Nice. Nice.
So,
Yeah, so we'll finish things off with the Black Templars exclusive model. Which I can't find any photos of, which is absolutely bizarre. Because people have, oh wait, there's a photo. There's a photo. It's a shitty quality photo though. Shit. Uh, and there is absolutely no other photo available for him. That's fucking weird. Here we go. Okay, so that's. Let me copy. Can I copy? Shit. Okay, I'll just copy paste the Instagram post that has this photo, and you can have a look.
no.
Say what?
Right, I see it.
Alright, cool. So yeah, we've got Black Templars, Bayard's Revenge. I'm gonna let you have your opinions on this first, I think.
Oh, I like this model. Like, I think it's a very dynamic pose. I think the the pose is dynamic. What else can I note? Like, I don't know. It's hard to specifically like speak of what details you like about a model, but I guess one thing I like about it is it's kind of a minimalistic model. It doesn't overdo like using a bunch of iconography and things of that sort. It's mostly just just a model with some details that will clearly mark it as what it belongs to, namely Black Templars, but doesn't overdo it to the point where it's just a mess that you can't really make out the shape of. I think, yeah, I'd say I'd say I'd like it. I'm not gonna buy it. I already own an Emperor's Champion, the old version, the one that didn't. wasn't a Primaris Marine. It's a metal model. But yeah, no, I think it's pretty decent.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut in here now and say I find it to be. I agree with you 100%, but me being the nitpicky motherfucker I am, I'm not the biggest fan of the pose. Especially compared to the artwork's pose in the background. You know what this is referring to. Um,
Yes.
I like that one a bit more because it feels a lot smoother. It looks a lot more triumphant, in my opinion, because the one in the model is very moving. You know, he's moving with everything. He's putting some purpose into it. Whereas the one in the artwork is more, you know, I beat the shit out of this orc. I'm going to thrust my sword down his chest in victory. I am victorious. I am, you know, the Emperor's champion. I am victory. You know, real big Chad energy. Whereas this one is a bit more how can I say, it feels more desperate. I think that's also because of the head. Because the head here, it's got a lot of emotion to it, which isn't a bad thing. But I think they should have stuck with the more neutral blank face or scowl. You know, that scowling, um, well, more of a scowling frown as opposed to, you know, he's clenching his teeth and is, you know, really driving that sword in. It fits the Black Templars quite nicely, I will say that. But I just think the pose could have been done differently, or at least swap the head out for something a bit more neutral or helmet. Aside from those nitpicks, I like it. I like it.
Hmm. I guess I'd say I kind of disagree with you. I think the post is very fitting because the picture makes it seem like this is the like that picture makes it feel like it's the like he's standing, I guess, just it's a photo shoot kind of feeling. He's not actually moving like he's in a battle. It's more like being he's being painted. I think the model looks more like he's actually in a battle. So I think I personally prefer the model pose rather than the artwork.
I agree with you on that, though. I will agree with you on that. It's just, again, I personally like the artwork because to me, it feels more triumphant. Whereas this model feels a lot more in the moment, you know? Which again isn't a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Because it does have a lot of movement and energy and emotion to it. But I'm still biased towards that artwork a little bit.
Well, I guess it's personal tastes.
Yep, and that's personally alright. But yeah, and this is Warhammer Day, celebrating 35 years, yada yada. Um, you know, all that crap. I will say though, in regards to the Primaris Black Templars, which I still call bullshit on that. Um, they do fit the aesthetic for the most part. They do fit the aesthetic for the most part. Also, I like the fact that a lot of the models actually have the whole chained weapons to their not greaves. What do you call that part of armor?
Racist? No.
Uh,
God damn, I should put that.
it's completely left my mind what that's called now. But yeah, that part of the armor. It's nice that they have that detail there.
Van Brace?
Van brace, that's the one. Yes.
I do agree that that's definitely a very iconic part of the Templars aesthetic.
Yeah. It is still unfortunate that this is an exclusive model. I don't know where it's exclusive to. Probably fuck. What's that place called that everyone goes to for Warhammer?
Warhammer World?
Warhammer World. Yeah, it's probably an exclusive, a Warhammer World exclusive as well, which sucks.
Bombs. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Actually, hold on. Is it? No. Wait, yeah. Hold on. You'll be able to pre-order this incredible duel from the 8th of October from the Games Workshop web store, or you can pick it up from your local Warhammer store or independent stockist between the 15th and the 23rd.
Oh, so this.
So it isn't actually Warhammer World exclusive,
Wow, that's surprising.
apparently.
Mind you, wasn't Slime Marbo and that other dude fucking some kind of exclusive thing at one point, and then they just released them as regular
They
models,
are. Yeah, though I'm fair.
which
Yeah,
was
those were
which
exclusive,
was
I'm fairly
dumb. Like either have it an exclusive model or don't. Like this,
certain.
make it an exclusive model, and then a couple of like a year or two later, make it a normal available model. It's like make up your mind. Also, you just change the value of that model considerably, because now anyone can just get it. So it's not an exclusive model anymore. So I don't know. It's baffling. It's baffling. But I suppose it is nice that this isn't a Warhammer World exclusive then. Um,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, cool.
Uh,
It is a limited
as
time.
someone who has.
Stop it. Yeah, it seems to be a limited time as well. Not that that's a bad thing. Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, that's still a nice looking model. Um, Not too many complaints about it really. Also, the thing I was mentioning about simplicity versus over that whole thing, whole ramble that we went on about simplicity between commander characters. This is it. This is it. This is
I agree.
simple and bare and basic, and it looks good for it. Um, that said, it does stand out because of how simple and basic it is. Like there is no trim on the legs. There's no, well, aside from the thingy on his belt buckle there. There's no ornaments on the armor. You know, there's no chest skull. There's no skulls on the knee pads or anything. You know, unnecessary details like that. He is just simple. This is who he is, and I like it for that.
Hmm. Actually, I think an article. I think there's one article we should have looked at that we haven't, or should look at rather. I
Oh,
think we should look at this. I think we should look at this one here because this one's actually like like from the look of it, it's not much, but it really is a lot.
okay.
because the first part is about what it says on the tin. The further down you go, though, you realize it's not just that.
Okay. Oh, hello.
It's not.
Yeah, there's some cursed city stuff in there. You got some of this. Oh. Uh, oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm busy looking at this Estelle Venurix model. Um,
Oh, right.
I think you can see why I'm busy laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
Can you guess what is making me giggle like a schoolgirl?
Oh, is it the frog?
It's the fucking frog. Every Everyone knows what I'm talking about with this fucking frog.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Classic.
Fucking, I can't even make that sound. I used to be able to make that sound, but I can't anymore. Damned puberty. My only question, aside from the meme factor that this thing is, why is it here? Also, why is she covered in frogs?
I guess that's just something that happens in Blood Bowl. It's. I guess that's her character. It says a friend of all frogs. She likes frogs. I don't know.
Apparently. But yeah, he does look quite squishy though. Little squishy lad, little squishy boy. But yeah, okay. We got some good old Amazons and whatnots. Okay, it's pretty interesting. Crystal skulls for some reason.
What? Hold on.
Yeah, they just got crystal skulls for some reason.
Skulls?
Yeah, in the first pick, you can see these definitely not Indiana Jones crystal skulls.
Right. I guess it's part of the aesthetic. I mean, it's based on South America.
No.
Actually, hold on. Funny joke here.
Yeah.
As someone who's currently in the study of the art of linguistics, I can appreciate the name of the Croxigor. His name is Glottal Stop.
Which is a weird name.
Without the A. Well, it's not a weird name if you know stuff about the Nahuatl language, which I happen to do.
Do elaborate.
Glottal stops. Actually, it's not. What?
Do elaborate.
Oh yes, I am going to. So first of all, it's funny that they removed the A from glottal, so that it becomes TL, which is a common sound in Nahuatl. It's so common, in fact, that it's like it appears in practically any word. Well, it can appear in most words, but it's very, very common in Nahuatl compared to other languages that don't actually have the sound at all. So it's funny that we have that. So glottal instead of glottal.
Okay.
The other funny thing is that the glottal stop is in reference to a phoneme, in other words, a sound, a distinct sound in Nahuatl, aka the Aztec language, if you needed to have that specified. It's a reference to a specific sound in Nahuatl, not the tl sound though. It's a reference to a sound that's, in what's it called, in certain dialects of British English, it's not a water bottle, it's a water bottle. Those dialects replace the T with a glottal stop. T, which is a alveolar stop, toneless alveolar voice, sorry, not Swedish here. voiceless alveolar stop, the T sound, they replaced that with the sound, a glottal stop. So that sound exists in Nahuatl. So this is a very, to me at least, entertaining linguistic reference.
Okay, interesting.
And I assume you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no clue what the fuck you just went on about, but I find it interesting nonetheless.
What a bottle.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Well, it's a pretty cool looking model. He kind of looks depressed. Which is unfortunate. Please don't be depressed, big crocky boy. But this first one, okay, the model looks nice. The name, however, it's just a little too on the nose. It's way too on the nose for my taste. Boa constrictor. Like,
that's dumb.
yeah.
Actually, can I also note? Hold on. Actually, let me just quickly check so I'm not mistaken myself, because here's another linguistic thing that one's screwed up. That's not actually good. That's dumb. Just let me quickly check. Nahuatl orthography. You can look at the other models while I'm just doing the thing quickly.
Yep. Obese snake.
Right, so, what the fuck? Okay. So there is a specific type of orthography which is very stupid that doesn't do this. But, you know the sound I refer to, the glottal stop?
Yeah.
Like, in many languages, particularly Arabic, using what's it called? The apostrophe that they use there between N and S, that is a very usual way to write a glottal stop. So but here it doesn't seem to have a purpose at all.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of just
I think
there.
that's a very stupid thing. That's not a specific problem with the model. That's like a thing that every freaking faker of languages does. They just add H's, Q's, and apostrophes.
Yep.
And also replace I with Y for no reason.
Yep.
Very typical signs of someone who pretends to create names and stuff for places and whatever in fiction, but doesn't know how language works. They just do things like that. So I don't like that, but that's just a nitpick.
Yeah. I mean, the model itself looks alright.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it looks pretty alright. This frog lady though, it's like, oh my god. Oh shit. The croc, yeah, it's cool. But it seemed like there was something specific that you wanted to mention about this article.
Well, I would like to note a few things, like the inclusion of the Space Marine heroes.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
Yeah. And the addition of the World Eaters upgrade sets with the helmets, which are cool.
Those are some good looking helmets. I like the fancy helmet that they got over here as well as an option. That looks nice. The bear head, on the other hand, it looks weird, and I don't know why. I like how nicely detailed the butcher's nails are. I don't like the rest of the face though, and I cannot tell you why.
I think it might have to do with his eyebrows looking like just two blocks that they
Th-
slapped onto his forehead.
that's something a lot of miniature painters don't do is eyebrows. Like every single model that you ever look at does not have eyebrows. No one has eyebrows.
Yeah.
But to be fair with the scale that we work at, I don't think eyebrows are particularly necessary. But it is one of those details that you don't see very often.
I'm one of those people who does paint eyebrows on models. So I'm not one of those people who don't do that, but I do see others doing it quite often, yeah.
No. But anyway, moving on. You got the Will Eater shoulder pads, standard stuff. Um, below that, however, ho ho! But this got blasted. Yes.
Yo,
God, these
these
fucking
are not
heads.
good.
These heads are so shit.
Mm-hmm.
The only good head in this set is the unhelmeted one. That is it.
Because as anyone who cares about the setting has pointed out at this point, why in the Lord's holy name, why do you think that space wolves are furries? They don't just wear fucking wolf helmets. That is so reductive and dumb.
And it has no place
They're
in the
not
setting
furries.
or the lore.
Yeah, that too. It's never mentioned that a fucking in that Horus Heresy that it's a common thing to wear like wolf helmets. There are wolf skull helmets in a few examples,
No.
and there are wolf helmets in like modern 40k that I know about, but there aren't in Horus Heresy as far as I've been told, and it certainly isn't common.
Well, I sure as hell haven't come across a single wolf helmet. Not even the rune priests have them.
Actually, let me show you. There are models like from 40k that do it, but as I
Yeah, well,
said,
40k.
not in. Yes, not in the models.
Also, I'm gonna point this out real quick. Let's compare this to the World Eaters one. So the World Eaters one, you've got three. No, actually, not even. No, no, fuck. Okay, no, I'm wrong. I was about to say they got three different kinds of helmets. But no, it's the ones on the left with the red stripes. Those have a skull on their forehead, but the other six are all identical. Just the middle three have been painted differently. So yeah, I take it back. They are actually not that different, but these helmets still look better than the Space Wolf helmets. Just period.
Yeah, there is there is one more special helmet, I guess, for the what's it called, the World Eaters than the Space Wolves. The Space Wolves only have two with a like crystal, whereas the World Eaters get three with a skull, along with the the special ones. But yeah.
No. The Space Wolf shoulder pads. Okay, those are usable. Those are usable. They're possible for any setting. The helmets though, no, no, no. This is horrible.
They're not furries. Goddamn Games Workshop. Fucking. That should be obvious.
Yeah, well, remember, Games Workshop isn't exactly the foremost knowledgeable of the setting. Ironic, considering that they literally own and make the setting. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they know the setting.
I did post a kit like from 40k though, where it does have a like wolf head helmet, but it's one, and it's not what they wear like as the standard thing. Why is that what they think they're doing? It's not correct.
Okay, but even then, that helmet is more of a snarling wolf. You know, it's gonna an angry snarling gurg wolf. Whereas these helmets are just wolf for the sake of wolf.
Yeah, and they don't look intimidating. They look like they're happy or like horny.
Yes. Excuse me. Yeah. Shut up. Anyway, moving on. We got some Black Library books. Like big whoop. There's a Ruggle Door and Primarch book. Um, Interesting, I suppose. You've got this Courage and Honor. What is this? Is this an audio drama? Looks like an audio drama. Because chapter
It
1 is
says
like 16
okay.
minutes.
Hmm. Ooh, they are fighting the cow.
No. I'm just looking at this cover art and I'm sorry, but that looks so unmistakably feminine. Like, that does not look like a dude in that armor.
Yeah, I get you. I see what you mean.
Like, motherfucker has some curvy hips. He's got some hips on him.
It's a trap. Actually, a reverse trap, but still.
But yeah.
You expected dick, you got chick.
Indeed. Indeed. We got some.
Yeah, do you remember that one thing where like a Chinese trap streamer was revealed to actually be a female and they were
Yeah.
very fucking angry about
Yep. Yep.
classic story.
Well, you know me and my stance on that. So, we shall move on now. Warhammer Chronicles, we got this stuff. I don't know, I'm not exactly one for Warhammer Fantasy, but cool, I guess. I like the cover. Um, Warhammer Crime Week? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, they have a bunch of like detective novels and shit now.
Oh my
I don't know
god,
why.
okay.
It doesn't really fit Warhammer.
No. Okay. Maybe. I mean, if you're going into the like deep dive of the normal people, then sure, I suppose. But an overall Warhammer vibe, no, not really. Nah. And then below that, what the fuck is this, and why does it exist? Callan. Okay, well, first of all, this chibi stuff. Um, why? As for the calendars themselves, it's very boring. Like the artwork is cool and all, but
It's
the rest
stick
is
figure.
it's like I have seen corporate fucking emotional or those happy kitty calendar poster things that look more interesting than this. They kind of missed it with the calendar itself part, in my opinion. Artwork cool though.
Yo,
And then some Christmas tree decorations. Even though we're busy going into Halloween, Halloween
I guess you don't
decorations?
need to change. I don't think
Anyone?
you need to change Warhammer that much to be very spooky.
No, fair
It's
enough.
horrible enough as it is.
Red Gobo socks, meh.
Mm-hmm.
They look cheap though. I mean, actually, let me look at my
Uh-huh.
socks real quick. Let me look at my socks
That's a
real quick.
sentence I didn't expect to hear.
Yeah, no, this literally looks like my grey socks. With how thin it looks thin and stretchy and uncomfortable and no thanks. Okay, these are cool though. These pin badges, Purity Seal pin badges.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah, I'll grab
I
some.
like these.
Keychains. You got a bolt
Which
rifle,
one?
las
Hold on.
gun.
Hold on.
Huh?
Which one would you get? Of the pin badges,
The
which one would
Blood
you get?
Angels. Thank you very much.
I see. Alright. Alright, fair enough.
Then we've got some keychains. You got a bolt rifle, a las gun, a chain axe, and an orc chopper. I suppose that's cool as well.
Which one would you get if you chose to get one?
Ooh, fuck. Probably the chain axe. I think either the chain axe or the las gun.
Bro, we thinking the same out here. Fantastic.
Cool. This is a little bit more interesting. Christmas cards and gift wrap and stockings. Okay. First of all, this fucking Warhammer cartoony art style. Can we please stop this? Warhammer is not a fucking kids game. Can we please stop doing this fluffy rainbow out of unicorn farts bullshit now? I'm sorry, but that just gets on my nerve, considering, Warhammer is supposed to be grimdark. But then you got these two motherfuckers going through a Christmas town like it's like some kind of. I'm gonna stop before I lose my shit, so let's move on from that. In-store presents. Mystery faction pin badge. Oh great. Mind you, if I see any available, I'll probably grab some because I'm a sucker for collecting pins. I'll admit, I'm a sucker for collecting pins.
I agree. I do too. I like that stuff.
Warhammer Plus, that can go fuck itself. So that's basically it. That's basically it.
Honestly, like my opinion of all this stuff, like the pin badges and the keychains and the pin badges, yeah. The pin badges, and the keychains are the most interesting.
I would agree. I would agree.
In my opinion.
I highly
Which is kinda
doubt.
sad.
I highly doubt that we're gonna see this stuff in South Africa. If we do, fuck, dude, I'll pick some up.
I'm pretty sure I would be able to get it here. I think yeah, I would probably maybe pick some up. Because, like, even though I really don't want to buy from Games Workshop anymore, my tisms, man, they really do. They do things.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we've got for today. Unless there's something else you'd like to add on here.
Other than the name Glottal stop being funny, I have no real comments. No.
Interesting. I find it interesting that Cursed City is finally back. Considering the whole controversy around the original release of Cursed City. Oh,
Did they release? Hold on.
that was a
Am I
fuck up.
thinking of the same thing here as you do? What was the original problem again?
Well, they didn't have enough boxes printed, which quite frankly is dumb because as soon as these were released, they were gobbled up, like so much breadcrumbs by pigeons. And they also didn't fulfill quite a few pre-orders and orders from hobby stores, which, as far as I know, still haven't been fulfilled. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but as far as I know, it wasn't a thing. Well, they didn't have enough, and they didn't fulfill all the pre-orders and orders and stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's
Games Workshop essentially were like, we didn't make enough, and that's all they said. They didn't respond a iota to all the I suppose backlash of the fact that this essentially, well, when was this released? Fuck, somewhere a while ago now.
2 years ago, maybe? I don't remember exactly.
I think it was 2 years ago. It was either before or just after COVID. Um, but point being, it's taken them basically 2 years to bring this back. Like, wow. Okay. Mind you, it does look like there's more stuff in here. Um, Not in terms of models, but more just gameplay items. It looks like there are more things here. Aside from that, it looks to be mainly all the main stuff, regular shit. I think, anyway. Actually, I'm fucking straining my eyes. No, this is all the same stuff. This is all the same stuff. Model-wise. The rest is still, yeah. But yeah, aside from that, well, aside from ignoring the fans, they also flat out deleted and muted anyone that asked about it during live streams and comments on social media and stuff like that. Deleted, muted, cocked.
That's fucked. That's really bad.
Well, that's Games Workshop for you.
It is indeed Games Workshop.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything. Again, if these pins and stuff do come around to this backwater of a country, I'ma pick some up. I'ma definitely pick some up.
Yoink.
Aside from that, most of this stuff doesn't particularly interest me. Well, most of this stuff, well, yeah, a good chunk of this stuff is not going to be available in this country because Forge World. Because fuck us, I suppose. Such is the life of living in a third world country. Am I right?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, as far as I know, you don't have any else to put bleh words. You don't have anything to add on to here?
I see nothing really to add, no.
Alright, then I suppose we shall end it at 2 hours and 4 minutes. Man, we've been here talking cock for quite a while.
Well, it's a podcast.
This is true. And I'm just gonna straight upload this without editing because it's more entertaining that way.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'd probably cut out a lot just by I'll probably save a lot of time just by cutting out my ramble and rant about the Space Marine heroes and your little ramble on the pronunciation and stuff, which whilst interesting, was a bit very in depth. But I'd definitely like to hear more of that, though. You know, keep that side of you up. It's always good to learn new shit. It's always good to learn new shit.
I do know my stuff when it comes to linguistics, and I'm learning more.
Fun facts with Calcul. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, I believe that is where we shall end our launching episode of the podcast. Um,
Well,
um, Funnily enough, I just forgot what the name of our podcast is.
chicken? Did we abandon it? Hold on.
um,
Oh no.
oh dear.
What, the chicken coop?
I think it was the chicken coop, yeah. Well, we'll stick with that. This is our launching episode of the Chicken Coop podcast. Coming to you every Wednesday will be the upload schedule, I believe. Might be a bit more sporadic than that, but I'm definitely in to try and keep my uploads consistent, like actually. Yeah. But yeah, aside from that, I suppose we'll see all you lovely viewers another time in the next episode. And I hope everyone has a lovely evening, afternoon, morning, or even midnight. And we'll see you guys later. Take care.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.